Yo, what is up, guys? This is the Brick Duo here, and today I thought we would talk about the new Lego ideas. Obviously, this is going to be the third segment from 2020, the review. We have one set announced. You guys may have already seen it, but we're going to basically go over our thoughts on it and sort of just talk about Lego ideas in general. So here we go, guys. We have the motorized lighthouse. Oof. Personally, I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me. Not a bad model. Not a bad creation. But for me personally, it just is going to be one of those sets that you kind of can get on the side, and it'll be a decent build for maybe hopefully a decent value. But it just doesn't really do it for me personally.
I sort of look at this set similar to the Treehouse. I've always said I think the Treehouse looks like a really good build. Definitely was excited for a bigger idea set. This one should also be a bigger idea set. But this is just one of those ones where, for me personally, it's just going to have to be a pass because I know it's going to be a rather expensive set. No licensed themes or anything like that. I think it'll look good, but I don't think I need it in my collection. But also the fact that it's motorized and also it's probably going to have a light in it too. I could see this being like a wind turbine sort of deal where the price can be a lot more expensive than it would be without that kit because obviously the wind turbine comes with the power functions. I think they would do the same thing with this one too because I think really to have a lighthouse, I think having the light and it to be motorized is just something that they're going to want to do to really bring it out to life, right? Obviously, this model looks really, really good. I don't think this model the model we actually get is going to look as good at this. I think this base in this one just looks really, really fantastic with the rock work, and I've never seen Lego do rock work like this. So I'd just be surprised if they had this much rock work, if that makes sense for you guys.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, it's one of those things where it's going to be a decent set, but it's like, do you want a lighthouse on display on your shelves? It's like, I'm going to have to pass on that personally, but maybe that's your thing, or maybe that reminds you of some, vacation home you went to, or whatever that might be. Anyway, so here we have, basically all the ones that didn't make it. Obviously, I think most people, at least a lot of people here, are probably hoping for basically a new Hobbit set and maybe sort of a slight revival of that theme. Unfortunately, we did not get that, so a little bit disappointing. And this has sort of been the trend lately with every single review result for the past, I want to say two, where we've gotten a ton of submissions sent, a ton of them accepted into the review process, but only about one set coming out. And some of the sets coming out are in general nothing too earth-shattering, in my opinion.
I can't remember exactly which one we picked to have as this set. I can remember some of the other ones, but just looking at this, I'm like 95% positive it was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is that correct?
The last one?
You know how we did a video on this earlier about which one we think will make it in production? Do you remember exactly which one we said that this is our one pick we think?
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, I think we said either Avatar or the Hobbit. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it just comes back to, some of these. They're just so specific that it's hard to, I think, just sort of make it a set, and that's understandable. But I don't know. There's always these ones too that are basically just architecture sets that are decent. I think this is like the Milwaukee Art Museum or something. I forget.
Something like that, yeah.
There's always the ones that are basically an architecture set, and those are always decent, but they tend to not get chosen. And then there's the oddly specific ones, which don't really have a good chance, in my opinion. And there's some that probably just for licensing reasons never really had a shot on the back end. So
right, I think we've actually seen Avatar. I think maybe in the previous review it was on that one too. But this one I thought maybe had a better chance just because it had more of an actual design to it with Appa and things like that. But like I said, and like we're saying with Avatar too, I think another Avatar movie is supposed to come out eventually. They've been talking about it for forever. Yeah. So I'm sure Lego and Disney might be able to get something up for that movie. And then I think The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, I think that's just going to be one of those instances, like a Harry Potter instance, where they're just going to re-release, not re-release, but they're going to just bring back the theme someday because that's certainly one that's really popular. And I don't think it necessarily needs to come from ideas.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna follow up on that because I don't know if you guys follow it, but there's definitely been a lot of transactions happening. I know, like I think Amazon bought the rights to make like a TV show or something for The Hobbit or like a series. And there's always been talks about sort of this revival of maybe having like a really high quality show, almost like Game of Thrones or something, that kind of quality, but in the world of The Hobbit and J.R.R. Tolkien and everything. So that's why personally I thought maybe it might be decent timing for this, but I think again, since that's not down the pipeline yet. I would say from like a commercial standpoint, with those shows that maybe that's why the set didn't get picked, or of course licensing reasons. We will never really know. But I mean, at the end of the day, with this whole Lego Ideas review, it has been a bit disappointing. And obviously, we have a really, really big results coming for fall. If you guys remember how many got through in this way. There's just a ton of options, and we'll definitely have to maybe take another look through this to see which ones may have a possibility before we get those results back in a couple months here. But overall, set isn't bad. Personally, not for me, and I think a lot of people are going to feel that way. But that about wraps up the thoughts here, guys. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, this is the Brick Duo signing off.